Jeff.
Yeah.
Mahogany.
Yes.
Brakes. Brakes.
Yes.
And Terrence.
Yes.
And me. I re-uploaded the first 5 episodes of this show, so if you remember it sounding bad, it doesn't sound as bad as it used to.
Nice qualifier there. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's just not as bad as it used to.
Yeah, basically just I renormalized some stuff, and Jeff still sounds like a ham radio, but you could hear Will a little better.
That's important.
Which is
yeah, Jesus Christ, you can barely hear him at all most time.
Well, some of that was Will's predilection to talk to the microphone from way back here, which nobody can see that on the camera. But
No.
Yes, leaning back in his chair. Also, I think he also used to just play laying on his bed.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, he had cancer, so
Yeah, but you know, cancer doesn't make you immune to sitting up.
just makes it suck
Grabbing
a
a
lot
chair.
more. It just makes it suck.
So off camera, we did a lot of like math for treasure and loot stuff. We all got a bunch of gold and a level. And I just realized that by taking that robe, I am now at medium carry weight. So I think I'm going to take the +1 wisdom off for the level and put it in strength just so I can walk around normal.
Well, don't forget the robe shrinks in size, so it should be at least half the weight for a halfling.
Oh wait, let me actually equip it. Nope, I'm still over my weight.
These clothes are so heavy.
I'm an old man.
Actually, does what do you call it? Hero Lab do that? Does it recalculate the weight of an item for if it automatically adjusts because it's a magic item, or?
I don't know. It does for equipment, but you have to resize it down there. You have to say what add new gear for the size you are. But for magic, it doesn't say anything about that kind of stuff.
Right. I mean, if it goes from 2 pounds to 1 pound, will that still be enough for me?
It's like the robe is weighted, and you're like broccoli.
Well, it is. It's got those big long needles.
Yeah, it's got big metal
They're
needles.
so heavy.
I can just cheat. I can wear the robes and also say that they're on the ground.
Yeah.
There you go. That way you don't have to give up your wisdom.
I'm just like, what? I'm wearing a robe. I've got a lantern staff, 2 wands, and my leaf armor.
Well, if you didn't min-max every time by making every caster you make old.
I don't do that
probably
every
have enough
time.
strength to carry shit.
I don't do that every time.
You've done it
done it
almost
the
every
last-
time in the last 2 or 3 casters you make.
Yeah.
Wait, was Valric old?
No,
No, but
so.
the turtle guy was.
the turtle guy was, and
Which-
that's it.
Because Turtle Guy, it makes sense. You
My
want Blue
grapple
Turtle.
wizard wasn't old because he had to go up and fight people.
I think Terrence might be thinking of Matt.
I think Terrence might be thinking of Terrence.
I've never made a character old. I don't want to play an ugly character.
You
This-
played old wizards.
This is a fantasy game, for God's sake. Actually, I have played an old wizard, but there was a feat in Dragon Magazine that made you immortal, and it doesn't change your stats at all.
Oh.
Oh, that's some min-maxy shit.
But no,
This
it
sounds
also
cheating.
it doesn't change your stats in the positive either. It basically, you're an immortal guy. You can't die of natural causes. That is the only thing the feat did.
Oh, you're like immortal like a lobster.
Yeah, I guess, but you
Yes.
don't actually gain any benefits / drawbacks from aging. You just look older. I was trying to make like a Merlin type of guy, but it didn't really work out for me
See,
because the
that's-
campaign was very hard.
That's the reason I'm playing a druid, is I'm hoping that I've timed the campaign timeline out to where my birthday is just after I hit Timeless Body. Because Timeless Body means I get all the benefits of growing old, but none of the negatives. So I'm doing the math.
What level is Timeless Body?
Level 15. We'll never get
We'll never see
Christ.
that. We'll never get there.
It's
We'll
only
change over
11
this.
more levels to go. What are you wanting?
We'll change to superheroes before we get to that point.
Let's see.
Do we want to go over what we got for level?
Sure, yeah. Let's hear it. Did you get any good hit points? You don't have to roll them. Just tell me.
I got 6
All right.
Hey,
wonderful.
me too.
Out of.
out of 8.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
pretty
I rolled right over the medium, and I was like, well, all right. I can cast 2 judgments a day now. Whoop, whoop. And instead of 2 first level spells, I have 4 first level spells and 2 second level spells. So I'm coming into my own.
All right. You're twice as judgy and even more spelly. Got it.
Yep. I'm like a spelling bee judge.
Mm.
What?
More spelly, more judgy.
I guess I get it. You know, I don't know. I need more vodka. So that's fine.
That's how most of my jokes go.
Where did you put your attribute point?
Wisdom.
Strength.
I thought about that and I was like, wait, I'm not a frontline fighter. I'm a caster guy now.
I don't know. I thought you were like a rogue type. Like I still don't get Inquisitor. It's dumb.
Yeah, I've never played one before, so I don't know the best way to, cheese it.
Inquisit?
Yeah.
Well, don't go to Kevin for advice. Yes, we're ripping on Kevin again. Bam.
Don't go to well before Kevin at the table where that joke originated from was one of our Patreon supporters.
What?
Actually, I don't think any of y'all know him.
I mean, you're like sitting there looking at us like you're waiting for us to say the name. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like, are we pausing significantly for a reason?
Mainly because I kept wanting to say the wrong name and I knew it was wrong in my head.
Our very valuable Patreon supporters.
Like, it wasn't me.
69 420.
No, Jacob was the one who played that Inquisitor, and like he played it specifically for the fighting abilities. But it just kept coming up that we needed somebody to interrogate somebody, and it was never him. And we were just like, "You're an Inquisitor, man. This is like, it's in your name."
See, that's why I made this character as an Inquisitor, and then Jeff just comes in like slapping his detective dick on the table.
You're welcome.
So it's like completely
Detective Dick.
completely undermined the character idea I had, and I was like, oh, all right, well, I already made him.
Anybody else want to talk about their character?
My eagle still has more hit points than I do.
Good. Okay.
I've got I can cast more of the spells that I have. And I had to put a point in strength so I could carry a robe. That's it.
Fucking robe. All right. Jeff, Mahogany, what is your one?
I can channel now.
Oh, that's good news.
That's nice.
And what else? Oh, I can cast a spell.
A spell. That's right.
A spell a day. Wow.
For those wondering, I forgot, as a druid at 4th level, you normally get wild shape. I don't.
Oh.
Why not?
Because I took the Eagle Shaman archetype. I don't get wild shape until 6th level.
Yeah.
And if I transform into anything other than an eagle, it's at 4th level. But if I transform into an eagle, it's at 6th. I'll count as being a 6th level druid.
So you've specialized in eagle.
Well, I mainly took it because
Weapon focus eagle.
Favorite enemy bear.
5th level, which is coming up after this one, if you know math, I can summon eagles as a standard action instead of a full round action.
Oh, that thing Gandalf couldn't do to make the plot go faster.
Right.
Congratulations.
You mean in order to make the movie end?
And then if we make it to 12th level, I'll be able to summon eagles as swift actions, which is
So eventually it's just going to be a flock of eagles.
You have like just the audio clip of like that epic rap battles where Lincoln screams "Eagle!" right at the
Yeah.
But no, I plan on summoning swarms of eagles to do damage to people.
All right. Okay. Eagle swarms.
Eagle
The
swarms.
birds.
It's gonna be a treat, I'm sure.
You're welcome.
Did y'all know that almost every eagle sound effect in a movie is not an eagle? It's a red-tailed hawk.
I did
Because
not know
eagles sound like chickens.
I did know that.
I did know that also.
that. Man, we should have gone with Benjamin Franklin's thing and just made it a turkey. Just put the
Mhm.
turkey on top of the flag.
Chicken off.
I mean, we pardon one every year and then eat thousands of them.
Yeah.
That's like the creepiest thing.
Yes,
The pardoning of the turkey is
Yeah.
the creepiest thing.
You, sir, get to live.
But your
For now.
entire family is going to be fed to our people.
Thousands of others are going to die.
Go back, tell your people of this atrocity. They must live in fear.
The rest of you to the slaughterhouse.
Enjoy your survivals, guilt dick.
Oh my god.
And we're face blind to turkeys, so we actually might kill him anyway.
Yeah.
That turkey is just gonna run out like the powder ganger in Fallout New Vegas. Just I'm the one that lived. I won the lottery.
You know what it really is they pardon that turkey and then they cook it for their Thanksgiving dinner, but you don't see that because it's behind closed doors. It's all beers and smoke, baby. Flim flam.
Wibbity wham wham wazzle.
Well, you've shattered my illusions. The world is a much darker place now. Thank you.
You're welcome. Wake up, sheeple.
You're the worst.
Yes, he is.
Yep. Terrible person.
All right.
Did anybody buy anything cool with all this gold, or are you just sitting on it like I played on?
I mean, like we do. You're like, oh, we got all this money. Now let's play the game. You know, I got to read everything before I purchase anything.
Well,
So basically, I'll never buy anything.
All right.
you can read this stuff, but we're not actively playing the game.
No,
Yeah, but every time I do that, then you guys are like, "Oh, it's your turn. What's happening? Don't you know what's happening?"
He means
"No."
between recordings.
I mean,
When
we're
you're
not
playing.
actively playing. and
Oh
you're
no,
not-
that's never gonna happen because if it's not open, I don't remember that Hero Lab even exists. If I don't see it right in front of me, if it's not relevant to the moment, then what even is it?
If they could just put these books somehow into Fortnite, she would probably.
She
Yeah,
doesn't play Fortnite like that anymore. It's Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not wearing my t-shirt right now, but I want to be.
Are you excited for Genshin 2?
Electric Boogaloo.
I'm pretty sure I'm playing it right now.
No, I didn't know it was out. Jesse mentioned that it was coming out. I'm like, oh, that's great. And then that's the last I heard about it.
Hmm.
Because he's been busy playing it.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean it's a bunch more shit in the game, which is great.
Yeah,
And
we can't see what Mahogany's playing on the other screen while we're supposed to be recording this.
I'm not. I rarely ever, and I can only say rarely ever because it's happened like once.
It's Duck Hunt.
But like, yeah, I play this while we're playing this. I turn it on like when we're done, but we're still on here. And then one time when it was like obvious that we weren't doing anything, and I definitely wasn't doing anything that time. Yeah, I played that one time.
I was actually joking. I didn't actually think you were, but now I do.
No,
We all
I
know
was
it's-
being very serious. I only played like when we were done.
We all know it's Terrence who does other things while the game's playing.
That's true.
Yeah, he's looking at Twitter right now.
No, I'm looking at Wikipedia.
Why is it so bright?
Because Wikipedia doesn't have a dark mode.
I'm telling you, your browser does.
I bought an amulet of natural armor.
No.
Just now, while we were talking.
Well, yeah, exactly. While we were talking, I bought an amulet of natural armor.
Because I
Why
don't
doesn't your
remember
browser force it.
what the dark mode. I don't fucking know.
Because you're not trying hard enough, Terrence.
I don't care, honestly. Like,
We care because when your screen is that bright, we feel like we're looking at a fucking ghost.
I don't know. Like, I'm looking at Wikipedia now, and it's bright as fuck. And like, all my stuff is supposed to force it to be dark. That's ridiculous.
yeah, there's no escaping the
What's
Wikipedia.
wrong with you, Wikipedia?
Every time you go to
Dark white
Wikipedia,
background.
it's like you've just opened Marcellus Wallace's suitcase up.
Looking directly at his soul.
Into the sun.
Look, we recorded our other game last Wednesday. I know Terrence didn't pay attention because it was a role play moment specifically for him. And out of nowhere, he goes, "Oh, Coolio just died," and it's like,
And that derailed the rest of the game.
I'm sorry, it hit me hard.
yeah, it sucked.
You should have waited until after the game was over to look.
What
You
part of hit
shouldn't
me
have
hard?
known.
Don't you understand?
You shouldn't have known that he had died till the game was over, but you were on
And
Twitter.
he says it floated across my screen. Like somebody.
Like it wasn't me. My computer just
I didn't look on. I didn't look on the Twitter trending tab, but on the Twitter trending bar to the side, I saw it
Yeah.
On Twitter.
floated.
I think this episode is free in February of next year, so we're really dating some context here with Coolio, but whatever.
You know, I mean, as long as we can make somebody feel sad about Coolio 5 months down the road, that's the
Yeah.
important part.
I will be saddened
I-
5 months from
listen-
now.
I listened to Gangsta's Paradise and all of its covers on Spotify. The very next day. Boy,
sure.
none of them are as good as the original.
He didn't know
None
who
of them.
Coolio was, and he's only 2 years younger than me.
Oh, wow.
What?
Wait, Coolio, he died at 50 something.
No, I mean like the guy I work with is 2 years younger than me,
Oh,
and he didn't know who Coolio was. And I was like, "How the fuck do you not know who Coolio is?" And he was
Oh.
just like, "Oh, look, I guess I just missed it." I was like, "How did you miss it? What the fuck is wrong with you?
How do you miss Coolio?
Have you never been to karaoke where that white guy wants to rap but doesn't want to say any words he get in trouble for? He does Gangsta's Paradise every time.
Now I feel like you're talking about yourself.
I am. It's a safe white dude rap.
oh man. All right.
Might as well pick Will Smith for that.
Yeah, that's not rap though.
No, yeah, I agree.
Oh, poor Will Smith.
No disrespect to getting jiggy with it or wicked wild wild west, but you know you're a fucking clown.
I'm more of a Willennium fan myself.
I don't know. Summertime was the jam.
That was
Always
a good
will
one.
be.
But yeah, are y'all ready to start?
And parents just don't understand.
Just
How
the
old
two
was I?
of
Like,
us.
Shit, like fucking 12.
Mhm.
I was just trying to think of like how old I was when parents just don't understand was on the radio.
Yeah, like little. I was little.
To be young folks.
Yeah.
Jeff, how big of a fan of Crisscross were you?
He's not a fan of jumping. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you ever miss the bus? Bow, bow.
I thought their gimmick was stupid.
Yeah.
What? Their clothes were backwards?
Yep.
Okay.
I
I'm
used
not
to try to wear my clothes backwards all the time when
I
I was
did.
little.
That is very hard to do and it makes you choke. Like, 'cause
Well,
my shirt's
grandma
already
was-
warped one way and then it's got the collar doing this, cut it in your throat.
I'll say pants backwards with those big pockets right up front. Kind
Oh,
of
you
nice.
got like Jinkos and shit. Sure, why not?
Oh yeah, I could put all kinds of candy bars in there with a little chunky 12-year-old self.
If you all you own is gray slacks, it doesn't work.
Only Crisscross does it for you, asshole.
That was
I had a
yeah, that
very
was
bad
around-
wardrobe.
That was around the time my brother started stealing my pants because I was like always wider than him. So my jeans were bigger than his, and he wanted to wear big baggy jeans, but my grandma wouldn't buy them for him. So he would just steal mine and put them on.
That was funny. Let's see.
I was up, but I lay back down.
I missed the bus.
Ow, ow. All right, sorry, I won't bring up Chris Cross again today.
Yeah. And they just missed the era where I think where they could have had a cartoon show, because like even Kid and Play had a cartoon show. There's like a weird narrow window where every like
MC Hammer and his talking shoes.
just got a cartoon. Yeah, there was an MC Hammer cartoon. He was a superhero. He had magic talking dance shoes. I'm not making this shit up.
I want to say that was probably like a Saturday morning kind of thing.
Oh, it definitely was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't like if I didn't already know about it, then I didn't, because we were at church, so I didn't get to watch Saturday morning cartoons.
On Saturday morning, God, what a fucking terrible job.
Yeah.
Seventh-day Adventists.
Mm-hmm.
Was that around the same era that RoboCop had a cartoon? Yes,
probably,
RoboCop, the R-rated horror movie, got a cartoon.
No, I found a fan remake. You know those fan remakes where a bunch of different people make a remake in a kind of a comedy way, like a section of a movie.
This is where RoboCop shoots that guy in the dick a lot.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things.
Like I haven't gotten all the way through it, but you know the scene where Ed 209 just salsifies that one executive guy. Well, in their version of it, it's a puppet, so it's just like fluff going everywhere.
Yeah. Those are fun to watch sometimes.
Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes puppets just make me laugh so hard. Especially like
Team America. Those
Team
little
America,
legs.
those little feet. I don't get I can't. The way those little feet move just tickles me.
I would love to see like the what do you call it? The aborted version of Team America, because they said the puppets, they had to remake the whole movie because the puppets were like too realistic to begin with.
Huh.
So
I thought you were talking about the one with the extended sex scene, because I've seen that.
No.
That's not what I'm watching.
Like they thought test audiences thought the puppets were too creepy because they were like look too real. So they're like they went and downgraded the fucking realism on the puppets.
Oh.
And remade the movie. I'm like, man, I'd love to see that old version.
Yeah, I'd love to see a hyper-realistic Matt Damon saying, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
I would hope they didn't get too far into it before they had to remake all the fucking puppets.
The Film Actors Guild.
Yes. I very much did like how they used black cats to be Black Panthers. That was very cute to me.
Huh.
Super Mario
I don't
Nation.
remember that part.
I think I was toward the end where in Kim Jong-il's palace, or Kim Jong. I don't know. I don't know which Kim Jong it was. I forget.
Probably Un at that time. Right? That's the dad?
No,
Un is the son. Il.
Yeah, I think Il is the second son, and then the guy who's been dead most of our lives.
One of the Beastie Boys made that album after, right?
Hmm.
Licensed by Il.
That's fucking terrible. I hate you. Oh Jesus. Okay, let's.
Yeah, have you checked your blood pressure because we haven't played D&D in like 10 minutes?
It's been closer to 20
Shit,
minutes.
he's dead.
We lost him.
He probably went to go smoke because he's like, oh, they're talking about Team America. I'm going to walk away now.
I asked him about crisscross, and he said, "You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm going outside."
I'm gonna jump out the window and have a
I
cigarette.
just really haven't had any point to say anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. We forget you're advanced age. You lack our cultural touchstone.
That's right. You know, I'm so old, you know, that I'm just listening to all y'all's craziness and going, these youngsters,
These whippersnappers.
damn.
This wild youth.
Yes,
crisscross. That's almost 30 years ago. That's 30 years ago.
it's more than 30 years ago.
Oh.
Radiohead's Creep came out 30 years ago.
Oh.
And that was still after high school for me.
I'm still laughing that Terrence used the word youth to describe us with a straight face.
Youths.
In
Well, normally we have
comparison,
here to kind of lampshade it, but no.
How old are you, Jeff? God. You okay?
Well, see, my life support is connected to how much I get to play Pathfinder. So
All right.
I'm not. I have to get this little injection of fun every week that supposedly that I get every Sunday when I play with y'all. But
I like the audio quote marks around fun that you just said.
Yeah, you really nailed the enunciation on that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, let's begin before Jeff's life support just utterly flatlines.
No,
God,
Oh, God.
He just lost 4 classes.
We're going to need a better Patreon subscriber.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry. Okay, so when last we left off, you guys were coming out of the sewer, but we fast forward a little bit. You collected a little bit of reward from the local constabulary, and as you are looking at the broadsheets the next day, you see that your names, or at least those of you who gave them, are in the paper.
I didn't think we gave any names.
Well, you know.
I thought that was intentional.
No, some of you gave names.
Did we?
I didn't think we did. I thought we were very specific about not giving names.
Oh.
And told her to not. We didn't want our names. She said she just announced that some adventurers assisted with the capture of this crew.
Okay, well, if you're trying to dodge fame, then we will.
No, I'm trying to dodge the big target placed on our backs by nobles that are pissed off that they got caught in the wrong.
And indeed, that is basically the gist of what's going on. In addition to uncovering a cult of were-rats, which the heroes valiantly put to the sword, a secret cabal of other cultists have been arrested as well, many of them coming from the upper echelons of Emerald Hill society. And you can see that the whole paper has the town in a buzz. The people you can see, if you bother to read on, you see that there is a lot of grumbling from the local government about how this really puts a pall on the upcoming Founders Day festival. But now that this safety hazard has been dealt with, they feel like maybe perhaps the festival will go off with even more of a wonderful flair and safety and just joy for everyone. The heroes who wish to remain anonymous, the paper, then the article then concludes with, we wish to thank the heroes who wish to remain anonymous and hope that their careers from this point out continue to shine like the bright stars, yada, 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 yada. A little bit of jerking you off in the paper.
I wanted that. I could go to the Temple of Shaylin.
Well, Terrence, I also wanted to take the notes that we took to the paladin, noble paladin that helped cure the child, since he was the one that actually gave us the silver to make our weapons and stuff for us to do that. I want him to be aware of all the nobles, the notes, so he can keep an eye on them too.
He is not back in town yet, you guys.
Okay.
He is still in Trader's Fork dealing with the problem, but you're guessing that he should be back pretty soon, as he plays a pretty central role in the protection of the highest noble family here in Emerald Hill.
And I'm sure they would want their town hero to be involved in the Founders Day Festival. Yeah. What was his name again? Tillamook?
Eichenboom.
Eichenboom. That's right.
Let's see. Yeah.
Eichenboom.
Sir Eichenboom.
So
What did we want? Did we want to follow up with these nobles? Raid their homes?
Well,
I don't think we have the authority to do that.
yeah, you guys kind of turned it over to the local constabulary for now. But if they hit you up again,
Oh, right. We needed to go about. We're on a mission. We're trying to track down the people who demolished Trader's Fork.
oh yes, that's right.
Also wanted to check in with our friend that had the flukes, and that traded those off for a crystal ball that he was trying to sell off to see where he stands with that situation.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy check to try and track down Kevin the peddler.
Mhm.
Jeff is going to squeeze every NPC for any copper he can.
Well, I mean,
Can I
that was-
assist you?
yeah.
Is this to gather information check? Just
Yes, this
diplomacy.
is gathering
Oh.
information.
I'll assist as well.
Yeah.
Barely do.
I
Got a
help.
16, 18, actually, diplomacy. Wait a second, that's a 21 from my side, with the additional of the +4 from them.
After asking about a bit, you find that indeed you can locate him. He has kind of set up a stall in the marketplace while you guys were doing other things, and it looks like he's got everything like fairly new, new tarp, new carts, new wagon, new everything. He's even got some nice new clothes when you find him. And when he turns to see, he's like, "Hey, there you are." I'd worried about you. You frittered off out of town, and then as soon as you get back, I hear you disappeared into the sewers. You know, things have been getting around.
Been busy.
Yeah,
I was thinking, you look like you've been busy too.
Yes, I found I was able to offload that crystal ball to a very interested client who he doffs his hat and says, "Who tragically passed away yesterday. I understand." But he puts his hat back on and says, "His loss, unfortunately for him, is my gain because the paperwork was signed a little oddly and I was able to reclaim it. And I know that sounds ghoulish, but
Mhm.
but it was almost like I hate to say it, it's almost like I couldn't really get rid of the thing, so I started using it a little bit, just a little.
How did the previous owner pass?
Oh, it was very shocking. All right, so there's some tall buildings. He points to the skyline over there. And to a lot of the much more fancier noble dwellings, and he was taking it back to his abode. He apparently was a fairly well-off man. And he passed by one of his neighbor's house. Now that neighbor was trying to get a harpsichord up to the 5th floor of their mansion. Now, apparently he was in the habit of cutting through their yard to get to his own. At that very moment, the rope that was hauling the harpsichord 5 stories into the air snapped. And yes, unfortunately, he died in a rather musical explosion.
So, completely freak accident. And this is while he had that crystal ball?
Oh, yes. Thankfully, unscathed and bearing. He says, "I've been putting little stickers with things that are my name. I'm trying to brand myself. Kevin. I'm gonna make myself a brand. You know, a brand. They got this from Kevin. You'll feel great. It'll be a label. People will say, 'Is that a Kevin you're wearing?' And they'll be like, 'Yes.' 'Is that a Kevin you're using?' And it'll bring prestige. You know, prestige. That's what people want. They don't want stuff. I mean, they want stuff, obviously, but they also want prestige."
Well, that's great. You know what? Nothing suspicious at all. Can I get my pay now?
Oh yes, of course. He begins rooting around in his pockets, and he pulls out a fat coin purse, and he begins digging into it. He's like, let's see, here's 500 for the 100 each for the trip here. And pulls out another 500, 100 each for the protection. And he pulls out another 500 and says, and a bonus for helping me get my feet. And he puts out another 500 gold pieces and 100 each for just because a tip. Oh, the money I owe you, right? And he gives you your money back for paying the storage fee.
Oh, well, thank you.
400 each, basically.
No. He gives you 500 each. He tells you it's 100 each. You're beginning to get the impression that Kevin might not be good with numbers.
He gives us 500 each. Oh. I'm afraid that Kevin may not be long for this world if that crystal ball is the issue, but
I verify that none of the money has cabin written on it.
Oh, no. That's illegal. You can't go marking your own money here in this territory. Though you see that a lot of the coins, what with this being a trade route, aren't necessarily minted in the area.
Right.
That would just cause mass confusion. However, if I could, perhaps, create a sort of, I don't know, like a wooden tile that functions like money in some way. You would give people a serial number or something, and they'll make a copy of it with the amount due, and then maybe like a central bank, a bank of Cavan, a Cavan card. Where are you going?
Well, have a good day, sir.
Bye-bye. See you again soon.
Absolutely. Good day.
Wonderful people. Wonderful. As Cavan disappears in the background as you go back to your companion.
That is not at all concerning, huh? Well then, what is our next plot hook? I mean, step in our journey.
Well, that depends. Are you going to continue to try and track down the villains that attacked Trader's Fork?
Yes.
Then that means you guys are going to have to do a little bit of information gathering on a slightly harder scale. Go ahead.
Should we all do different information gatherings or all assist?
You can all assist, or you can but I want the person who's doing it, the main one, declared beforehand.
What is the skill for that?
This is gather information. So
Diplomacy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Whoever is doing the diplomatizing, I will cast a bit of luck on them.
I have a +7 to gather information.
I
Bit
have
of
a
luck will let you.
8 to diplomacy.
So Mahogany's in the lead.
Go ahead, Jeff. What you got?
Well, I'm +5.
Oh, okay. Then we'll let the paladin do it, and you can roll twice and take the better.
And
Yeah.
I assist.
I do not assist.
All right.
From by casting a spell.
I'm glad I got that bit of luck, because first time it was a 6 on the die, second time 17.
All
yeah.
right.
So that is 27 with 1 assist, right?
Jeff, did you get an assist off?
Yeah, I rolled a 16.
All right.
Okay, so 29.
29. Cool. After a little bit of, and by a little bit, I mean like a long afternoon of asking around, you finally come across an inn where you think the culprits might have stayed. They tell you that, yeah, there was a group of people coming here that kind of fits your description, sort of a halfling and I remember a very lovely woman with a pair of kind of sinister looking fellows. And they had this halfling dog's body with them that was very eager.
Dog's body?
You know, a dog's body.
Sounds evil.
No. Like a household servant, say a steward or a butler is a servant, and sometimes servants have servants, and those are dogs' bodies.
Never heard that saying before in my life.
It's true.
I have. But Ryan hasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, Frakes never has heard of a dog's body at all.
Well, you should watch Blackadder. It's funny.
Mhm.
I tried. I couldn't get through it.
Don't watch season 1. Watch season 2 through 4.
I watched them backwards because I got
4 is arguably the best season.
I got just one randomly from the library, and then that's what was available was the last season, and then the second to last season, and then the third to last season, and then so I just kept watching them.
Season 1 is the weakest season of the Blackadder stuff, but even though it's probably my favorite because it's just so Shakespeare-y. But anyway, they basically assumed Jeb was the servant of one of the pretty lady's servants.
So tell us everything that they did and said, and any clues as to where they might have gone.
They kind of indicated that they were looking for something. At least that's from what I overheard from various. Well, anyway, the point is, yes, I think they left town heading west towards along the trade road, but I don't think they were going to stay that way because they had asked about the best way to travel south. So if I were you, I'd head southwest outside of the city. That's unfortunately the best I can do for you.
So south and west.
West, then south.
West and south.
Yes.
Yes. Let's go west and south, people.
West, southwest?
Huh?
West, southwest?
Yes. He says, oh, wait, there's a resort town west, southwest of here. I don't know if you've ever heard of Copper Kettle Pass. Those of you who are locals kind of have heard of it. It occasionally gets brought up for honeymoons and things like that, though you haven't actually met anyone that goes.
Oh, it's like Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Or Reno.
But you're guessing more people in Emerald Hill go than Trader's Fork.
Copper Kettle Pass.
Though the season's probably about to close up soon. We're in late fall.
Perhaps that was their final destination.
Well, they didn't seem like the vacationing types, but you never know.
These were hardened criminals who destroyed Trader's Fork.
Huh. Is that right? He says, extremely interested.
That is the assumption, anyway.
Tell me more.
Stint's motive?
Sure.
I want to know if this guy's just curious or if he might be someone who is tied to these people.
All right.
That's pretty great. 23.
This guy seems like a shameless, eager gossip. Knowing that he had hardened criminals staying in his hotel room, why, that would be definitely something worth talking about.
Yes, the assumption is that they pass through towns and destroy them in their wake.
Oh, my. He says with no sympathy in his voice, almost eagerness, that's awful.
You're lucky to have survived.
Oh, well, I'm an innkeeper. That's what we do. We live through the worst.
The one in Trader's Fork didn't.
Oh. He doffs his cap briefly and says, well, let's share a drink to my fallen compatriots in household mastery.
I'm making a rule not to drink with anyone whose name I don't know.
Clavier.
Clavier.
Mr. Clavier.
Well, unfortunately, we're short on time. We must be on our way. Yes, I look to my companions to see if they're backing me up on this.
We're all gone. We all slowly left the room.
All right, well, Mr. Clavier finishes pouring himself a drink. He says, well, then have a wonderful day. You've given me a lot to talk about.
Yes, I can tell by the ghoulish glint in your eye that you enjoy this kind of information.
Oh.
Farewell.
He,
Did I
he
mention
gives
I'm judgy?
I know. He gives you a curt nod and a smile and watches you leave and says, "Pigs." He, where are you guys going from here now that you have at least a small lead?
Yes, we'll
West
head
and south.
west and south toward Copper Kettle Pass.
Cool.
That was where we went after destroying Trader's Fork, right?
You came to Emerald Hill briefly, bought some stuff in disguise, asked about looking for like clues to where, like, asked about basically the Ochre Moss forest, basically, and various other areas. And then you guys headed towards Ochre Moss, taking a brief respite at Copper Kettle Pass, which turned into sort of a whole 6-month affair.
So that was after the destruction of the underground laboratory.
Oh yes.
Okay. My timeline's all mixed up. I
Yep.
also am of advanced age.
In reality, or like in
In reality. At least my brain is. A lot of drugs in my youth.
my brain? All right. So yeah. Do you guys still have mounts, or are you gonna try and rent a carriage? Or...
I have a mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
guys-
thought we still had.
That's right. You put your mounts up at the church. That's correct. That's right. When you go
Well,
back,
Yes, before we go, I should check in with the order.
yes, when you go back to the church, and you check back with the Church of Shaolin, you are, of course, bombarded with questions about your adventures. It's while it may not have been in the papers, those of you that have come in contact with you have all kind of suspected that you guys were involved in the sewer adventure.
It is what any good worshiper of Shaolin with means does. He with responsibility has, or he with, you know what I'm saying.
Nope.
Noblesse oblige. He who can must.
Oh, okay.
Also, did that prostitute ever show up at the temple to take me up on my offer of working there?
Oh man. So hold on. I need some light. There you go. So I can see my dice. I'll give you, let's see, you were pretty persuasive. I'm going to give you a 50-50 chance that she decided to try and change her life.
Well, she doesn't have to change her life, just improve her surroundings.
It will be any improvement of your surroundings is a change to your life. And so, yes, you do indeed find out that she did come back to the temple.
I would like to offer her 2 gold to.
She's like, oh, I don't do that anymore.
Well, this is the Temple of Shaolin. If you chose to, it would not be frowned upon.
Oh, I know, but I decided to go back to my original love, harp.
Ah, this is not for that. This is to outfit you in your new life.
Oh, well, thank you very much, my lord.
Oh, no, please. My lord is my father.
But okay.
No, simply Fidelis will do. And what was your name again, madam?
Kareen.
Kareen, the harpist. I will remember next time I'm through. Take care of yourself, Kareen. Flourish
too.
my cloak as I walk away, all manly and heroic.
She does have a bit of an attachment to you and your group for saving her from a horrible death at the hands of a rat cultist. So, you know, she appreciates both your flourish and your style and the money.
What a fun sentence.
Your flourish and your style.
I was talking about saving me from the rat cultist.
It is a fun sentence.
I'm very proud of that rat that were rat I drew yesterday. I'm like,
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
I'm not begging for compliments. I'm just talking about how good I feel about how that turned out. Well,
You
take it
should.
back.
But we gave you compliments, so take them.
okay, fine. Yeah, compliments taken, but still.
If you want to see which rat picture he's talking about, check out Terrence Crosby's Instagram
Oh yeah, that's right. I do have that.
or
Yeah.
Twitter. Where'd you post it?
I posted it everywhere. I got the DeviantArt, I got an Instagram, I got a Twitter, I got a Facebook.
Yeah, do a little research and find out where all his stuff
I'll
is.
put a link
Terrence
to your Instagram.
Crosby.
I'll put a link to your Instagram in the description of this.
Oh wow, cool. Thank you.
There's one less R than you think there is.
Yeah, there's one less R and an A that where most people put an E.
Oh God, what was that? She-Hulk. It's spelled blah 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 with the Y, but it's not
Oh,
what you think it is. What was her name?
Oh, I forget, but man, I love that character.
Chrissy or some shit like that, or
Yeah.
Fuck,
Something, but that was fun.
God, I've worked in a bar for so long. I have met that girl so many times.
I love how she's just obviously dating Wong. Like Wong's hooking up with this bitch, and he's super embarrassed about it.
Mhm.
but anyway,
Spoilers for She-Hulk in February. Just let it.
I've already flourished my cloak and walked away manfully. Let's go.
Manfully.
So I feel
Yes,
like I'm.
manfully
Ryan's
beat
been
up-
outside playing in the dirt, just kind of, you know.
The antithesis of Shaylin,
Mhm.
Aristil.
Yeah. Just outside.
Step outside the temple, the chapel, and you find Ryan just sort of squatting on the sidewalk, like poking ants with a stick, waiting for you.
Not poking ants with a stick, poking holes in the ground and dropping seeds in there.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
right. You're a farmer's daughter.
Mm-hmm. Checking the pH levels of the dirt first.
Yeah.
What seeds are you placing in the walkway of Shaylin's temple?
This is not the walkway. If this is the walkway, then you guys walk weird. 'Cause I'm like,
Oh, you're just off to the side. Okay.
yeah.
I pictured you right out in front of the steps planting trees and shit.
I mean, she's kind of a doofus, but not that dumb.
Meanwhile, your horses are prepared by the other temple that you guys stayed at the other night. And you are basically just ready to go whenever you're ready to go.
Whenever you're
Alright.
finished your role play dicking around.
Actually,
No,
I'll
no.
Most
stop
of
by
my
the guard.
hands.
I'm gonna stop by the constable and let him know that we're leaving for a little while. Don't know when we'll be back, but we're trying to track down the people that we think that was involved with the Trader's Fork.
And then he
All right.
flourishes his cloak manfully as he walks away.
The day watch captain is sorry to see you go. You guys have helped him cover a lot of ground, and he's not super excited about all the press coverage it got. But you know, these things happen. He says he's trying to keep your names out of the mouths of people that will that kind of hold a grudge. So you know, he's kind of spread the blame a bit amongst the whole department. If that's all right with you, I don't. You don't.
yeah,
seem
and
like-
actually, I offered to hand back the badge.
He's like,
So-
keep it. You'll be back sooner or later. And I like having you on our side.
Well, thank you. I have a good group with me that's very good in doing this kind of stuff.
You do quality work. A lot of the Avengers we get through here, just troublemakers.
I can imagine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. He watches you walk manfully away with a tear in his eye. And,
Like that man's flourish.
now you're a man. A man.
all right. So,
It's like a man.
is there anything else you guys want to do before you leave town, such as spend the gold on the doodads?
I
You can
find
say
myself
yes,
a
and we can just-
cloak
Oh, you're gonna buy a cloak? Okay.
of resistance.
Word.
Mhm.
All right, that's one cloak of resistance, and the what is it? 2,000 gold pieces it costs?
And I'm working on some
1,000.
stuff.
1,000. All right, cool. Anybody else buying any other goodies?
I'm saving my money.
Oh, okay. Well, I see. You need a higher strength score in order to buy more magic.
I'm working on some creating some stuff.
Alrighty, cool.
Joker's saving up for that book of health manual.
Oh, Jesus. The trip out of town. Are you guys leaving town? I'm just double checking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The trip out of town at the beginning is a bit of a crowded affair. People are pouring into town. It's barely a scant day before the festival begins.
I will lay into the crowd with the butt end of my glaive to force them aside.
Jesus Christ.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. Out of the way, plebeians.
I wonder why my hand was so hot. I'm wearing my drawing gloves still.
2/5 of your hand was melting.
God, my ring and pinky finger are just sweating like crazy.
Sweltering in this room for some reason, just on these 2 fingers.
At any rate. But yes, you guys have to battle a lot of traffic coming into the town as you leave the town, but eventually it slacks off. But you see quite a few people still on the road. It's not too hard of a journey, and eventually you find, let's see, how long does it take to get out of town here? You'll probably have to stay at a roadhouse one night before you even turn off to the south along the routes. Yes. Your way or the highway here at the roadhouse.
There's a fella with a cut-off jean shirt standing at the door with a stern expression on his face.
That's still my favorite Squidbillies episode of all time, is when the guy shows up and pretends to be Patrick Swayze and he's obviously not. They're like, you don't look like Patrick Swayze. He goes, you know how I can prove I'm Patrick Swayze? You remember that time with the Double Deuce where I bought them extra tires? Because I just knew they was going to slash my tires after that first shift. Yeah, I remember that. That was me because I'm Patrick Swayze. Oh my God, it is Patrick Swayze.
Ryan, somebody tries to make you their regular Saturday night thing. You can react to that however you like.
I feel like she's still in mourning.
It's true.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, massive bar fight at the Roadhouse. But luckily, you guys are already
and bonking people on their heads.
Yeah. But anyway, yes. The roadhouses along the trade route are pretty crowded, and basically you guys are given the option to bed down there on the commons, and they'll take care of your horses for the evening, but they're out of rooms.
Ryan's fine with sleeping outside.
All right.
Yeah, same.
Maybe we should just find a campsite somewhere else.
That's what I meant, the commons.
Mm-hmm. Our horses are taken care of. We can go get some shut-eye.
All right. Let's see. Let's roll, see if there's anything interesting happening at night.
And we should keep an eye out, though. Keep watches, and if there are multiple people camping out here, too.
There, like I said, it's a lot of people are coming for the Founders Day Festival. However, you guys have whatever your watch situation turns out to be, you have a pretty peaceful night. You see a couple of drunks going back to their tents later on, but that's the extent of the noise. And by the next day, you guys awake with the normal amount of I've been camping out refreshment, and find your horses fed and groomed and ready to go.
Yeah. How many good berries I make before we hit the road again.
All right.
And maybe I did a little hunting that night so we could have some breakfast for people in the morning, maybe some wild rabbit or something.
Eggs and Hassenpfeffer.
Yeah. I hunt with the hawk. You ever watch videos of hawks hunting? It's fucking great.
No. Falconry is impressive.
Well, there's a guy who uses, so the way I saw, what made me think of this build is I summon a ferret, and the ferret runs rabbits out of their holes, and then the hawk eagle gets the rabbits. that's a dude that hunts that way. He's got a falcon and a ferret that he's trained together.
Oh, this guy's the
That's
beast.
pretty cool.
Yeah, he's basically the Beastmaster, and it's really entertaining to watch. But a lot of the comments are like, "How many ferrets did he go through before the hawk knew what was up?" Because it had to be at least 2.
I don't know. I feel like a hawk would get fucked up if it claws into a ferret.
Yeah, probably the first ferret was its. Oh, that's I don't like that. That's
Not that one. Not that. Not that.
That's wiggly and bitey. I don't like that at all.
Like that at all.
What I want to know is like how you get the fucking rabbit from the fucking hawk. Like after he ever kills it, like
You trade it some meat that isn't covered in fur and flesh.
maybe. I don't know. Is that real? Is that how they do it?
Yeah, they generally have a pocket full of like giblets.
Mm.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, now I know. All right. But yes, the next day you find the sign that branches off to the south, heading toward Copper Kettle Pass and points beyond. Here you see the stretching out in front of you, the path to the west and to the ocean, and to the south you see the path that's downhill towards Copper Kettle Pass. You know that the parts of the trade route headed to the west are within 20, 30, sometimes 50 miles of a massive, plateau that drops off sharply. And this is the point where the plateau doesn't quite destroy the landscape quite so hard. So there's a long winding downward and southward pass to the lower landscape that leads to Copper Kettle Pass and various other parts, including the great Okermoss Forest. Though you don't hear a lot about this region anyway, it has been considered largely abandoned since the days of Herjek the Twisted. His mining operations were pretty prevalent in the area, but there is there's always been a lot of rumors that the stuff that he dug up was dangerous or sinister in some way. Though no one seems to have a lot of idea what that actually means. As you head downward and to the south, the day winds on, and you find signs of passage, of recent passage here. And while the sign may be old, like maybe even a week-old wheel ruts into high grass, you can see that there was a very heavy carriage or cart that was hauled through the area here, down the southward slopes. And finally you come to the rocky passes. This is where the plateau kind of is still jutting up. There's a long sheer cliffs heading down with winding passages carved into them. These are situations that you may remember from your previous trip passage through here as other characters, but
I'm beginning to think we might be a little under-leveled. If our guys came through and killed Smilodons, we would be kind of, meat to a saber tooth.
Yeah, but you got a druid with you. I'll just talk to the Cyberdon and
talk to the animals.
Like, hey, I don't know what to say, please.
Right here, hold on, let me roll something here.
We'll get your babies back.
You guys travel for 3 or 4 days along these paths, and finally you get to the lowest part where the ground is the ground, and you can still see in the distance the plateau rising and arcing to the west. But you're still on the trade road, and eventually you come to a place where you find an old scene of violence. A rotting Smilodon carcass of incredibly large size in the woods or off to the path. And you see that the carts here have the cart tracks. They have largely dried up because this is like a pretty well maintained stone path for some reason. But the road splits further to the south and towards Copper Kettle Pass, which you see now have been getting a lot of like fanciful signs. I don't know if you remember my description of the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fantasy south of the border.
Yeah, fantasy south of the border style signs.
The carcass, I'm assuming, has probably been picked over by a lot of scavengers.
It has.
But it was missing its skull, wasn't it? Didn't they take its skull?
I don't remember.
I thought you guys just took the teeth.
I mean the tusk, the teeth.
Yeah.
And the babies.
Yeah, you took mostly you took the cubs.
Yeah.
What was the name of this town?
Copper Kettle Pass.
Copper Kettle Pass. Just 4,800 more steps to Copper Kettle Pass.
You're looking up.
I've just thinking I've seen south of the border sign so many times.
All right. The make a perception check while you're at this site of combat.
25.
I'm better.
Okay, then.
Jesus.
32.
32. All right. So between shit, I was going to call you Valric, but I was not.
No.
Between Fidelis and Oathboard, you guys find something interesting amongst the old combat site. Here you see that there is large squares of meat cut out of the Smilodon carcass, probably when it was fresh, because they're kind of sagging, but you can still see that it has a good deal of its shape, like something came along here and took a very large swath of meat from it and took it to a nearby location, because you see that there's a well-worn footpath that looks like something came here multiple times and cut portions of this dead animal away until it got too fetid.
Can I do a survival to know what kind of creature it was?
You may.
Can I do a knowledge nature?
14.
14, yeah, you see using survival can tell that this obviously was some kind of tribal band that came and walked pretty much in straight lines to what they were after. You, Fidelis, see
I rolled a 21 on knowledge nature.
All right. Excuse me. You see that there is you find a few like bits of stone, chipped arrowheads. You find a broken flint-knacked knife in and amongst the rotting carcass.
Carcass?
They're all the carcass, yes, the filthy carcass.
Some wino out here's just been stacking his corks. It's formed a carcass.
Okay.
It's the best I could do. I tried.
Thank you. All right. You guess by just the make of the various little artifacts you found here along the trail that this is probably a goblin tribe somewhere nearby.
Oh, led by Jeb Ankleshank.
This appears to be goblin make, judging by this flint-knapped knife. Do we want to see if they can provide us any information about this or move along? Because I assume we're not the type of party that would just be like, goblins, let's murder them.
Well, they seem to be a self-contained group of goblins. We're war in the nearest city that we've seen them, but I don't think it's really our place to just go off and attack this small tribe of goblins.
I agree. If they've done nothing to harm the others around, then, well, that would just be racist of us to attack them.
Okay.
How far are we from the nearest? You said we're pretty close now, huh? There's signs.
You consult some old maps that you have, and I believe you're about equidistance from Copper Kettle Pass. And there is another town nearby, a mining town along the river. Or sorry, a logging town along the river, not too far from where you are.
Well, before we carry on with our journey, we should stop by this logging town to inform them of a potential goblin threat.
Well, we can always stop to find out if they've been having problems with goblins. I wouldn't necessarily tell them that there's goblins out here, because then they might start, oh, they're the reason why so-and-so's happening.
Yes, that's true.
Our crops.
People tend to blame stuff on anything but themselves when there's issues.
That's true. That's why my
Yeah, but these are
father
goblins.
drinks.
These are the problems to a lot of issues.
No, I agree.
Fantasy world.
I'm not saying that they're good by any means. I mean, they're by nature evil.
There's goblins nearby. That's why my husband cheats.
Okay.
Moldy bread again. Goddamn goblins.
Goddamn goblins.
Stop my toe. Fucking
Goblins.
Took our jobs. Took our jobs. I can't.
Lumber isn't growing as much as it should. Actually, that could be goblins.
All right. Instead of heading to Copper Kettle Pass, you guys head south a little ways.
Yes, we have a civic duty to check on this closest town.
The town in question.
And we don't know that the villains went to Copper Kettle Pass. It's possible that they went to this closer town and destroyed it as well.
It's true.
We must check.
All right. So you head down the rest of the day to the edge of this village on your map. Now, on the map, it is merely marked as a logging village because this map is pretty old that you have. But you see there's a sign out front once you get there.
Oh, you're not referring to an actual owlbear map. You're talking about our fantasy map that's in our heads.
Yeah.
I got you.
You find a sign at the edge of the town when you get there. You see the town is called River Run, and indeed a river runs right through it. There are two bridges, two large, you're guessing mills, but the town isn't making like any noise when you approach, and you see that the town is in pretty bad shape. Like all the wood and most of the wood buildings is gray and has that sort of blackish streaks down it when something is poorly maintained, how it gets occasionally molded or
I want to dismount and actually see if I can sneak up there to see if I can see if do we see any humanoids? Are we seeing anything? He says kind of deserted kind of looking. I'm trying to see if I can scout a little bit.
I'll join you. Clank, clank, clank. Okay.
all right, go ahead and make your stealth.
All right. 20 plus 6. Plus D6. That's 23 plus 29.
29. All right. Wraith disappears in over one of the bridges into the town for a little while.
And I will let them know what I'm doing before I just jump off and just run off.
Where's he going?
Wraith, as you basically make your way over the bridge and kind of begin surreptitiously exploring the town via the backs of the buildings, occasionally ducking through alleys, staying with the shadows and whatnot, you see that the town is not uninhabited, and it seems primarily inhabited with the elderly. Everyone who lives here is old. Some of them are out there sweeping little storefronts very slowly with brushes or with brooms. You see an old
bingo
man.
houses everywhere.
You see an old man leading a donkey. The donkey is occasionally trying to outpace him, but he has to like hit it with its stick to make it slow down. You see.
Oh, so they're assholes. Got it.
Well, not hitting him, like stop. Come back.
Tapping.
Yeah, tapping it. And you see like people on rocking chairs in the on the porches of this town. It's like a kind of old west kind of town look. Like everything here is made of wood, but now the wood is largely gray, and some of it has dry rot.
So an entire town of a Cracker Barrel.
Yes, yeah.
But it closes at 5:30.
Yeah. After the supper crowd leaves at 5:30.
Look for magic and look for anything out of odds.
All right. You detect magic, and as you do at first, you don't think anything, but then you find this very thin, greasy aura of magic in the air. Just breezy, kind of like wafting magical energy.
What kind of school?
Necromancy.
Greasy.
You said it.
You said it that way, though.
Step back. Is there anywhere that looking around? Is there anywhere that it seems to be becoming strongest?
Yes, you do see that one of the probably the ugliest and most rotted looking building of the town is probably the town square, or the town hall, which is a pretty large wooden building that has at the top a little clock tower, a town clock. And you can hear it on the road ticking like laboriously. Tick, tack, clack, crunch, tick, tick.
All right. I will step back and head back to the group and let them know what I've seen, and kind of let them know that I detect some sense of necromancy in the area, not necessarily from any locations per se, but around the town hall where the clock's at. I don't really know if there's anything specific, but everybody's old. No, I don't see no young people. It's like the whole place is,
and I'll begin to head that way.
It's like everything about the place is kind of like older, lost in time type feel.
And they have a clock in the center of town.
Yep.
Oh, the animals and stuff we saw, did they look old?
Yeah, they had like the whole gray muzzles, like patchy fur, kind of slow moving, but still, vibrant enough to do their jobs. There's a lot of old hounds on porches, like crooked, arthritic cats, that kind of thing.
Arthritic cats is
I'll
really
pass everything
good.
on.
That's a really good dad rock name.
My progressive rock band, the Arthritic Cats.
We just do covers of the Back to the Future soundtrack.
Power.
It's the power of love. And the back in time.
Make a perception check as you head back to your group.
21.
21. As you're like moving through the back ways and into the shadows, sticking to the things, just trying to keep out of sight, you see along the riverbank, just around the corner, this is basically the only part you could see. Down the river, there's a second bridge, and you see going across that bridge seems to be a goblin warband that is marching, not aggressively but slowly towards the town. They're just sort of moving as if they're traveling.
We'll definitely let our group know about that happening.
All right. So, Wraith shows up, lets you guys know what's up. What are you doing?
A village of old people with necromantic magic and a war band of goblins heading towards it.
Yep.
But not aggressively, you said. Just
They're not moving fast.
I wonder if these goblins know about the old people and they can just take whatever they want from them.
or they might be actually trading with them. You don't know.
Possible.
Either way, it's old people who can't defend themselves. We should head that goblin group off.
Mm-hmm.
How big is this goblin war group?
You look like you saw at least 15-ish goblins amongst them.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
who's got the fireballs?
Hmm.
No, nobody.
Nobody, baby.
Actually, I don't think you guys have a full caster here.
Druid. No arcane though.
Yeah, and druids aren't real casters.
Oh, fuck you.
Let me pause a second. I got a whiz. Okay, guys. I'll be
Thanks
right
for
back.
joining us. We'll be back with part 2 of this right after these short week. I was about to say around this commercial break. We were recording for like almost an
After this week-long break.
after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Enjoy these weeks of commercials between this and the next.
Why do
Check
you
the
always wait till
description
I'd say-
below to for Terrence's Instagram account and look at some of his incredible artwork.
Tell me where you thought that other R was going to be.
Okay.
What?
In my name.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.